My name is Joe Bandel, and I am the last Rosicrucian. Today we're going to continue. Actually, this is the real beginning of the new series about sacred sexuality. And I was just making some notes. I've tried to share this in different formats. I've never done it the way that I'm doing now. And there's a lot of information here, but it's pretty exciting and interesting. Mainly in relationships, love relationships between people, and we're talking from the heart, from an energy exchange. We're not talking physical sex particularly, although that is included. But there's a spark, there's an energy, and there is a cycle that you go through. And you go through these cycles with several people in your life because, frankly, we're not born knowing how to love, knowing how to be in relationships, and we have to learn. We have to learn the hard way. And so this cycle has different stages. Really briefly, you can break them into 10 stages. I'm going to just say what they are first before we get into this. The first stage is union, which means basically that everything is perfect the way it is. If you look at everything that exists in this life, it's there because it is balanced. We might not think it's balanced, but it's balanced. The second stage is movement, where things are a little off balance and they begin to move into new positions, if you will. The third stage is attraction, and that's where we are attracted to someone else and somebody else is attracted to us. The fourth stage is seduction. Seduction is where it's different than attraction, because attraction, you're just attracted, while seduction, you're actually trying to draw them in. You're deliberately trying to becoming more interested, or getting them more interested in who you are. Stage 5 is entrapment. Okay, entrapment is where we got them, or they have us, or both. Stage 6, exploitation. It's where we or our partner or both are using the relationship for purposes other than the relationship itself. We're trying to exploit the relationship to get the things that we desire in life. So we're being a little bit manipulative both ways. Number 7, as the relationship deepens, you have the loss of innocence. It's not a game anymore. It's not as fun. People getting hurt. Things aren't working out quite right. What needs to be done? Part 8, joining forces. Joining forces is where the point is you realize that, hey, it's time to start working as a team, because a one-person show, a one-man show, or a one-woman show is not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. Stage 9, I call this, he gives her the key. Now, this is an important thing, and when we get to that stage, it'll make more sense, because we're talking about energy dynamics. We're talking about tantra. We're talking about these stages that follow. in relationships, and they just kind of bing, 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 and in the process they develop the soul of both people and his powers. And in the process, and he gives her the key. It's where the male empowers the female so that she can get for both of them what's needed. It's kind of like where a man can build a house, but it's the woman who makes the house a home. It's kind of a little along that line. Realization is the last stage. That's the completion of the cycle. Okay. Now, I thought I was going to be able to do one stage in a short video, but there's no way. I've been trying to write down my notes, collect my notes about this, and it's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do is start out and break each stage down into 4 different stages. So the first stage of union or balance, pure balance, is just to recognize that to become physical, for physical manifestation, everything needs to be balanced. It might be 100. It's like it might be 100 pennies, 4 quarters, 10 dimes. They're all exchangeable because they're all balanced. We might not have the thing, and the soul is balanced within male and female energies. So that's part of it. We are born in a balanced condition, even though we're born in a male body or a female body. The newborn male and female child is balanced, and they have not yet met in a meaningful way energetically. Kids are kids, okay? Now, males and females experience life differently. If you're going to do a study on sacred sexuality, you need to understand and accept this. The male regenerates energy by tapping into light, into the photon. The female regenerates energy by tapping into the earth, tapping into the molecules and the atoms themselves. We see this as in the process where the male generates and loses sperm throughout his entire life, while the female is born with all the eggs or ovum that she will have in her entire life and releases them one at a time. Totally different energetic system, totally different mechanism. When the male and female meet for the first time, it's a spark. There's a spark. And this is the first stage, the spark, puppy love. We don't even see the other person for what it is. We see the god and the goddess in each other. We don't see the smallness, but oh wow, we're overwhelmed by the archetype of who they are and the energy, the energy that's so different. So we don't see the real person. We start dating. The boy, and this is stereotyping in a way, but the stereotyping reflects a certain reality. And you may recognize parts of these stages that belong to the female and that belong to the male. You can recognize them both. They date. He's awkward and uncomfortable. He doesn't know his tongue gets tied. She flirts. with him. For the boy, just stepping out into life, he's just merging with physical life. It's like for the first time. And this is kind of an interesting thing because the male gets his feet on the earth, okay, and he's curious about all worldly things. And there's a limitation of language. He can't express in words a lot of the things that he's feeling, a lot of the things that he's experiencing, but he's experiencing them. And a lot of that is the life force, which they both feel. He's full of life and full of energy. The female is at the beginning, is a very goddess-related spiritual connection. She's in tune with all spiritual things. There's a strong awareness of being a girl instead of a boy. There's a strong, oh, this is different here. She wonders, what would it like to be to live forever? And feels small and helpless against destiny in a male-dominated world. How old do you have to be as a female to recognize that this world, up until now, has been pretty male-dominated? Now a balance is coming in, and it's been a long time. It's about time that it's done that. And as she interacts for the first time in this puppy love situation, as she interacts with the boy, she learns that he has emotional feelings and he can get hurt. Easily hurt. And she spends time getting to know the person that he really is, just asking about him, talking with him, and just being friends. Okay, this is a good spot to stop this at, because if I get into the next part, the video is going to go way beyond what I did. So I'm going to reach each stage, and each stage is going to be broken down into 4 different segments. This first segment was dealing with how there's a balance, because our souls are balanced with perfect male and female balance, even though our bodies are polarized in a certain way. And we come in with a balance, and we interact and meet and discover somebody who's totally opposite, somebody who's energetically opposite to us, and that's a spark. We will continue our exploration of that spark in the next videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this.